first I want to congratulate Central Kentucky on the World Equestrian Games. You made us all proud. You handled that, as far as I can tell, with great aplomb. You brought a lot of millions, thousands of visitors from around the world to see us for the first time. And the whole of Kentucky benefited from the welcome that you gave people from around the world. So thank you for that. We wanted you to see this center and to understand a bit about what it is and what it's not. So you'll get to do that as soon as we finish our meal, right, Lonnie? But suffice it to say, when we first started 20 or so years ago in my district to try to change things and turn things around, the first organization we put together, our true grassroots group, was called Forward in the Fifth, a reform education group that several state leaders helped us put together. That still is in existence. It's headquartered here. And then later we developed a regional job-producing, job-recruiting organization called Southern Kentucky Economic Development Foundation, 1986. We wanted to try to see if there were ways to cooperate with other communities and counties in our region in a joint effort. And when we first called together that group of people who were their county recruiting agents, essentially for new industry and business for several counties, I thought maybe we might ought to bring our guns because, you know, those are tough competitors. But as it turns out, they welcomed each other and saw the benefit of working as one region rather than separate individuals. And so far they can count about 10,000 new jobs they've recruited into our region. And then along came the Tourist Development Group. We wanted to sell ourselves as a region with the beautiful mountains and lakes and streams and cultural and historic assets like Cumberland Gap and so on. And out of that has come the Southern Eastern Kentucky Tourist Development Association. All of the people involved in these 30 or so counties cooperate together in that organization. They divided themselves up into corridors and named themselves, and they advertise. We give them a little money, and they advertise their theme. And the most interesting one to me is the area around Cumberland Gap, both in Kentucky, Tennessee, and Kentucky. They banded together. You know what the name of the theme of their group is? The First Frontier. And then along comes the effort to try to clean up the region. We've all seen the trash and litter, and it was horrible. You drive down the road and you see those ugly things in the creeks, and the trees hanging from the limbs, and the dumps and trash and litter. And we put together a group called Pride, which has been phenomenal. 13th year now. They're almost to 1 million old tires they picked up, for example. They're headquartered here. And then finally the Unite Anti-Drug Campaign. The Lexington Herald called our region a few years ago the prescription drug capital, abuse capital of the country. And so we put together a volunteer group of people with some funding called Unite. So far, the law enforcement part has put away 3,700 pushers. We've got treatment centers and treatment vouchers and the like, headquartered here. The reason I mention all these things is this is the headquarters for all of those efforts. This is, in essence, sort of like a state government here, because we're doing things that need to be done that the government has refused to do or can't do. And so this is sort of our version of Frankfurt. And we all work together. We cover some 42 counties from here. We can communicate with each other one-on-one, live, in-person television. Here in this building, I hope you go to the 3rd floor, is headquartered the electronic part of all of this. It's amazing. It's state-of-the-art. No one can do this. In fact, they do all of the Kentucky colleges do all of their telecommunicating through here. So there's a lot to see and do here. understand what this is. This is a coordination center. It is where these volunteer organizations, volunteer and financed, where they headquarter and coordinate their work. And they're in the same place because they have some synergism between them. What you do on cleaning up trash and litter helps you recruit industry. What you do to promote tourism helps with education reform. They're all interconnected. And they're here and they're sort of open up there so that they can learn and teach and work together on common things.